The FNL Network Talk Show.
Hello, everyone. Good morning, good night, good evening, wherever you're watching the show. And I'm not sure, there's some kind of a TV background noise happening as well. So it's very entertaining. Welcome to FNL Talk Show. I'm here with my amazing co-hosts, Marianne, Jeff, and Holly. How are you doing, guys, tonight or this morning?
We're good.
Where are you guys? I know everybody's like in a different place and maybe country, or where are you?
North Carolina.
Virginia Beach.
Currently Texas, book signing.
Amazing. Congrats on your book, Holly. What is it called? Just to spread to the viewers.
Higher living, an insightful look into living your higher life.
So beautiful. I'm really excited to check it out in Barnes & Noble. Let's get to our questions and our topics. So a very interesting topic that's gone around the internet is Elon Musk. Of course, he's such a celebrity, more famous than Kim Kardashian, I think. And he bought Twitter. There's so much controversy that's happening. You know, I just read that Kathy Griffin, a comedian, was banned from Twitter for impersonating Elon Musk. And then Elon Musk said that, no, you're banned just because you're impersonating a comedian, because he's a comedian. So there's so much controversy. What do you think about the blue check mark? Do you think it's fair that he's going to charge for it? What is your opinion on where it's going? And is it productive? Is he just doing it for publicity, or is he actually have a strategy about it? What do you think is going to happen next? Whoever wants to go first, you guys.
I think there's definitely a strategy. I think that with Elon, he's doing something very courageous. I don't know if any of you have a verification of blue check mark. Do you remember when you didn't? Now, do you remember do you know how current things are currently? How does everyone feel about that? The fact that you remember how things were before you have a blue check mark and before things are verified, and now they are verified. So that's gotta be wild. That's gotta be some type of, protection area, and, furthermore, now he's laying off all these lifelong employees. I mean, that's gotta be hurtful. So I can only imagine. I don't know how everyone else feels about it, but we can all remember a time before, we got even more involved into social media that, things need to be verified now. And now they don't. They at one time need to be verified and now they don't. That's crazy to me. Anyway.
I feel that it just creates more chaos. I think it's a strategy that he's trying to get a certain amount of people going to do it anyway, because they're going to invest in the money, because they don't want to lose their platform. But I think it's going to just create more chaos on both sides. The people that don't want to do it and don't want to invest in that money are going to buck against that. And the people that feel like they have the money, they're just gonna be like, okay, it's cool. It's just, a greater platform for me. So I just think it's a strategy he's using to create riffraff, to create a buzz.
That's interesting, Jeff. I didn't think about it that way. I think the main thing I have fixated on is how bad I feel for the people being laid off, just because that's hard. Anytime you lose your source of income, that's hard. And I was told, I think it was Eugenia, you had said that he's got, or was it Holly? I can't remember which one of you said that he was giving like a severance package to his employees, but it was just like 3 months or something like that. So as far as the blue check mark, I mean, I think he probably does have some sort of strategy or goal with that. But as far as laying people off, that would be my main concern, is just, I hope all those people are okay. Because I've had family and friends get laid off before, and it was so hard. And it is, I mean, there's so many aspects that go into a job, and if it's something they loved and then something just comes in and disrupts and does all these changes, it's hard. It's really hard. It's a tough life change.
Yeah, I mean, I can agree, Marianne, with you. It's so hard, but the world is changing so rapidly. Like, I just came back from Europe and nobody works at the airports anymore. There's 2 or 3 employees and The rest is computers. But if computers don't work, nothing works. So it takes forever, but this is the world we live in. Like, you go to the subway station and nobody works there either. And you go to the store, like I noticed it, any store. I went to Apple store yesterday and there's not so many employees, and people don't work. So it is a different world, and some people don't want to work. So it's definitely an interesting thing that is happening. My opinion is, like, Twitter is a huge platform. You can reach out so many people. And I mean, I do agree with his strategy to charge people for a blue mark, because it is a protection, it's an investment. And, if you pay for Netflix, like, it is just a business thing. I don't think it's fair. Sometimes the people who have blue check mark, they are, they're not, they get things a certain way, and the brands send them products, and then people who don't have blue check mark, there's so much controversy with that too. My friends who have millions of followers and who's done jobs for huge corporations can't have a blue check mark on Instagram because their name is not, like, spelled, the way it's supposed to be in the passport or something. So it's quite controversial, I think, but hopefully he knows what he's doing. He's definitely an eccentric personality, and I can't wait to see where it goes. I think his comment to Kathy Griffin was absolutely hilarious. I think he's funny, and a little bit crazy. So any other thoughts on that?
Jenny, I'm going to agree with you. He's definitely crazy. He's one of those outgoing, guys. I think I read an article about him that he, in college, opened up a nightclub, an underground nightclub. And because he couldn't pay for because he was trying to pay for his own college experience. And that was wild to me. So I think you're right. I think you're onto something with the verification and stuff like that. This is going to scare a lot of people, because you can pretty much pay and, and just anyone can have access to anything now. It's going to be scary. So, yeah.
Okay, well, on this note, next topic, let's talk about Kim Kardashian, even more fun. Recently, and her fashion, recently she was seen wearing a dress which looks like a tinfoil. For some reason, it went viral around the internet, and people are talking so much about it. So what is your opinion, guys, if you have any, or at all? I would go with Jeff first. Because you, as a designer, wearing your eccentric shirt, as I see, I love it.
Yeah, I designed. Thank you.
I'm sure you'll have some kind of opinion on that.
Oh my God. How do I describe? I just think it's no detail. I think it's just her style is her style. I never really like her style because it always seems like she's wearing plastic. It doesn't look rich and kind of how do I say, fashion forward. It just looks different to me. I just don't see myself creating those type of aesthetics. So I don't know. Me personally, I don't like it. I just feel like it just looks like she's wrapped up in foil plastic, all these like different, I don't know, latex type of material. And I don't like it. When I saw it, I was just like, it looked like somebody threw it together really quickly. I don't know. That's just not my style. That's what I perceived when I saw it. It's just my opinion.
What do you guys think, Marianne?
I think she's beautiful. I think she's gorgeous, and I think she could wear a potato sack and be beautiful. The dress, I thought it was pretty, but I like different things, like sometimes even weird clothes. Like, there's, as far as my sense of fashion, you never know what I'm going to wear. So I think, something that looks different or silly or weird, and I wouldn't classify what she's wearing as weird, but I thought it was pretty on her. I really did. And again, I think she looks beautiful in anything.
I think I'm going to agree with Marianne on this. I think she's gorgeous. I think it took a lot of effort to, fit in that, probably. And it took a lot of work and things behind the scenes. I appreciate the designers, I'm going to say, for her. I appreciate the look. I appreciate the goal that she wanted to achieve. They're a beautiful family. They've obviously I've got mad respect for them as far as media goes. They look like a bunch of hard workers. They're brand builders. So yeah, I like it. I like the look. I know that anytime that you're a creative person, that you're going to step out in style, there's always going to be negative voices. There's always going to be critics everywhere you go. So I'm okay either way. I've got mad respect for her, but at the same time too, there's a lot of critics and naysayers, and there will always be critics over everything. And if they bash her, they'll bash us. If they bash us, they'll bash Betty and Sue and, Peter and John. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Mad respect. So yeah.
Interesting. I mean, for me, it's so hard to judge. First of all, I never watched, the Kardashians show ever. I mean, we live in Los Angeles. I live in Los Angeles. So they're posters, you can't escape it. And then, my daughter comes home and she sends me this picture with her, like after basketball, and it's her and Kim Kardashian. Because her daughter was playing, or her son, I don't even know. You see, like, that's how much I know. But somebody was playing, and actually they look so cute. And that's the first time when I actually started respecting her and seeing like it's a person, behind whatever media it is. But obviously, once you decide to have that career, you are going to be judged no matter, and you put yourself in that place. The only thing for me, as I would agree with Geoff, coming from like fashion background and working with amazing, incredible designers like, Yves Saint Laurent and, just elegance, pure elegance, and, the cut and everything else. For me, this type of dress is a reflection of the culture that we live in. And it's all about sensationalism. Like, okay, let me put a garbage bag, and how can I get attention no matter what, like the show they did at Balenciaga, and they invited all these actresses who couldn't walk the show just to attract attention. I think it's too much. I think beauty doesn't have to scream all the time. I think there's different type of beauty. And I think, I mean, it does go to some extent, of course, like it gets attention. We're talking about it as well, promoting the message, which is rhetorical. But for me, fashion is more subtle. I think it's all about elegance, cut, and something that you can keep forever, rather than just trying to like scream. And I'm sure my daughter tomorrow will be wearing that dress, just inspired by that. So what can I say? Absolutely nothing. Anything else, guys, or should we move to the next topic?
I want to ask before we move off, has anyone ever tried to fit in something and it's worked? I just wanted to ask anybody that if they've done the same thing as Kim Kardashian. I'm not trying to put anyone on blast either. Has anyone tried that?
I mean, I've tried on stuff that's
Will you gain weight?
Yeah.
When I gain weight, it feels uncomfortable. So I don't wear it. I just take it off as a shirt. So that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it makes me think about the corsets and all this fashion from like, they're like France, and like when we had to fit into all this kind of dresses and wear wigs and and couldn't even shower. Like it's so much torture just to be dressed. So
I can't imagine.
It's definitely a job. Okay, well, moving forward, we have a thing about furry friends, and I'm sure that Marianne can answer this question first. I actually want to bring it up. The Thanksgiving is coming up, and I'm curious how you guys feel about it. Because the tradition is to eat turkey, and I wonder what your view on that, first of all, was. If you eat turkey or whatever you do, what's your opinion on animals? Who are your best animal friends, and how do you treat them? And Marianne, I'll go with you.
So I live on a farm, and anybody that knows me knows I'm crazy about my animals. We have a new baby donkey here, and most recently, we brought home a rescued horse, and he has become very quickly my favorite. He was starving and almost about to die. So they brought him to our farm 3 weeks ago, and they pulled him off the horse trailer, and he was just skin and bones. And I looked at him and I said, "You're safe." I said, "You're gonna be here forever. You don't have to leave. You're safe." And he has just blossomed. I mean, he is so silly. He makes these funny faces at me where he moves his lips and turns his head to the side every time he sees me coming. And he's been eating the best food. He's got a blanket at night because it's gotten cold. My opinion on animals is that they are better than the majority of people, because people can be so cruel and so harsh and so mean, but your animals will never, I mean, they love you back. They unconditional love. They've always loved me unconditionally, and that's why they are my favorite. And I always like to take the ones that nobody else wants, like this horse. And one of my dogs was thrown out on the side of the road and ended up at a shelter. And his name is Goofy. And he is Goofy. And Goofy, we have this saying at our house. He went from walking the streets to sleeping in the sheets, because he sleeps in the bed every night. And he loves it. So I love animals. That goes without saying. And I want to rescue as many as I can. I know I probably can't. I know I can't rescue all of them, but at least I can make a difference to the ones I do have.
That's so special. I think it's so kind of you, and I know how much work it is, and your love of animals is admirable for sure. Holly, what do you think?
Hi, I am completely on board, Marianne, with what you're saying. And I love pets, and I love the fact that you rescued or you're trying to rescue all of them. Whatever I can do to help, let me know. And I'm sure everyone else has kind of the same heart toward if they've ever had a pet. I know that I had to give my dog away because I was traveling too much. She was a Bichon, and she's with my family member right now, and I love her and I still miss her. And so I know how it feels, because she was a survivor, and all of her children, all of her puppies died. Her little litter died except for one, and I gave that one to my sister, and they are grateful to this very day. They are very grateful. So that ought to tell you something. That should show something about animals and loyalty that they have and things. So I applaud you, and whatever I can do to get on board with that, let me know. So I completely understand. We need our furry friends. I love it.
How about you, Jeff?
Okay, my favorite pet is Sharpay, but let me tell you my story. I'm allergic to animals like crazy. Oh my God, it's like the worst. My brother has dogs, and every time I go over there, I only can be there for an hour because I wind up in the hospital. So now where I live at, everybody wants a shepherd, a puppy shepherd. I say it's good, but there's like Jeff, they call me G. I'm sorry, y'all. And it was like, the fur is gonna make you sick. I was like, look, anything I want to do, but I love dogs. But my favorite dog is Sharpay. But I'm so allergic to animals. It's crazy. I can only be in their midst for an hour, and then I'm swollen. I can't breathe because I have asthma. So I have to wind up going to the hospital to get breathing treatments just so I could be cleared up. So that's my issue. I love dogs. I just can't be around animals for a long period of time.
Oh my God.
Unfortunate. Yeah.
My God. So has it been like this forever? Like since you were a child?
Yes. Yeah. Ever since I was a child. And I don't know what it is. I pushed my way through. Like when my family have big functions, my brother always wants to have it at his house. He has a big house. So it has 2 dogs. So me, because I love them, I go there, and within an hour, I'm swelling up. Then I'm wheezing. And then from there, I wind up in the hospital, and I'm there probably half of the night just to get breathing treatments, just to get myself in a place where I can breathe again. So that's my issue with animals. I'm trying, but I don't know. So they want to get a shepherd, y'all. So I'm agreeing, but they just like, we don't want to see you wind up in your bed and your eyes roll back and we're taking you to the hospital. I was like, look, if y'all want a shepherd, I want it, but they were just like, no, we don't trust it with you.
Wow. Well, that's I never heard anything like this, but I'm sure you can love them from far, and some
I
people
do.
need to love kids from far away. That's what I would say as a mother. You know, I'm not allergic to them, but I think animals and kids teach you real love how it is. It's so
Yeah.
true. And I do agree with all of you. I mean, especially now thinking about love and the holidays and giving back and rethinking about that. Usually I work with a farm sanctuary, so every Thanksgiving I adopt a turkey. And it's such a beautiful thing because you can go and celebrate it with them. They have this whole dinner where you come and they save all these animals, right? They teach you. I went with my kids. They teach you about the farming in America and how cruel it is, how they put like overfeed pigs and how they give hormones and they just
Mm.
for profit. It's terrible. So there was like a pig who was lying down, but he's so sweet. Animals, they like definitely have this soul, and I'm so glad that Marian, you saved the horse, because they're alive and they have feelings, and
Yes, they do.
unfortunately they can't speak up for themselves sometimes. So we do need to be the advocates and do as much as we can for
Yeah.
souls that can't do that. So yeah, adopting a turkey is kind of like a tradition with our family. I'm not a vegetarian all the time, but I make sure that it's not cruel and things like that. And my dog is just walking in as we speak about that.
Sweet.
Yes. So yeah, he's like,
What kind? What's the breed? What's the breed, Eugenia?
He's a mini pincher, and for some reason he loves like the heat. He loves, my son and my daughter, they love to stay in the heat in the sauna. Yeah. And my dog loves to stay in the heat. I'm not bringing you to the show. Sorry about that. My kids don't want to be on camera. That's it. You say I'm a bad parent. But talking about animals, I love my dog so much. And like, it's so funny, whenever we argue with my husband, the dog would come and start like barking at him. So,
Yeah.
we almost went to therapy about that. He's like, why are you bringing your dog? Too much like attention to the dog. It's like,
Oh,
fight.
my husband just knows. It's oh, that's so sweet
Oh my
though.
God.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
both of your body. It was both of your bodyguards.
Exactly. Exactly. I had a joke, like I trained him in COVID to keep everybody 6 feet apart or away, so it's like,
Aww.
no, his animals are wonderful. I work a lot with wolves as well, because people don't know that wolves are extinct. A lot of times in Los Angeles, you can see them coming down on the streets. And if they're reported within 24 hours, they're shot or put down just because there's not enough shelters for them. Wolves need special care, they're not like dogs. So I'm working with like awareness of that. They're wonderful animals. They don't let you pet them, or, they really approach you like you have to sit down and connect to them, which I think it's a fantastic way to be with animals and not put them on the leash sometimes and, say like you own them and just use them for your gratification as well. And yeah, horses as well. There's so much, to do for nature and give back. I mean, I think elephants are extinct, and I can't believe that people are still going to do hunting. Like, for me, it's mind blowing, with the situation in the world. I think it's just terrible.
Yeah. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, so hopefully that will change, and hopefully everybody will adopt a turkey this year.
So I have to ask, do you take the turkey home and make it a pet?
No. I think then I would be banned for sure. And the turkey.
Oh man, he won't notice. Just put it in an extra bedroom.
You guys, I adopted a chicken once. Because we had a photo shoot, and the producer was like, well, we took the chicken from the slaughterhouse, and now the chicken goes back to the slaughterhouse. And I was just shocked. So I made the chicken live with us for a week and then put it in a sanctuary. But yeah.
Eugenia, I have to ask, did you actually get to sit down and enjoy the turkey with the, like, did you actually get to enjoy, sitting down and eating all of it too? Or was it just like a...
You mean when you adopt a turkey? Sorry, or this is a very tricky question.
Yeah.
Let's start the controversy. No, usually, if you adopt a turkey, you can go there and have a vegetarian dinner with the turkey. You can do that. So there's many options, to support nature and animals. So. But don't judge anybody who eats turkey, because it is an American tradition. I know it brings families together, and hopefully we can help each other this year, especially with all the homelessness and all over US. Like, hopefully we can be kind to each other. And speaking of that, let's talk about comfort food, you guys. Do you have any comfort food? Especially winter now. It's getting cold in some places. I know some places like Los Angeles, it never gets cold, and you still need comfort food. So what is Holly? What? How about you? I know you're in Texas now, and it's a big food place.
Sure. Well, we get together. It's not very southern like people think it is during the holiday season for families. I mean, I grew up with a mom. She was from New Jersey. She moved to Texas and then had to cook. So it's not like it's one of those things where everyone thinks that people in Texas, ride horses and cook, this big extravagant. No, I wish. So if you know a family, I'm looking to go into one. 3-layer, mac and cheese, mashed potatoes, whatever. It's anyone can cook it. Anyone in any state can cook it and make a meal. It's kind of who you're related to at that point. So if I were you guys, I would befriend the ants. That. But yeah, I love it. I love the comfort food. Marie Callender's, calls my name pot pie, and the 3-layer mac and cheese with the 3 types of cheese and the cheddar and the bacon with it and the mixed in stuff. Oh yeah, the crust in it. Oh yeah, I'm all about that comfort food. So
how about you, Marian?
So one of my favorite comfort foods in the winter is hot homemade soup, because we grow our own vegetables here. We grow okra, corn, tomatoes, all kinds of stuff. And what we do is we freeze a lot of it so that we can use it through the winter. So I make homemade tomato soup, which is really good, and then a homemade vegetable soup with all different vegetables in it. That's probably my top comfort food as far as a meal, especially when it's cold. Also, I make potato soup. I made that last week. And then, gosh, I love sweets. I just love sweets. Anything sweet. Chocolate especially. Chocolate's my all-time comfort food, and I know coffee is not a food, but it might as well be for me because I freaking love my coffee. I can live off coffee. I have to have it, like at least 3 cups a day.
with all the animals and all the work you do, you definitely need a lot of coffee.
Yeah. I drink coffee with the animals a lot. I go sit down and have coffee with the horse. Teddy tried to drink it. My newest horse, he tried to drink it the other day. I said, no, that's not yours.
So you're that horse lady who's like drinking tea with a coffee with a horse.
Yep.
I love that. So beautiful. How about you, Jeff?
Sweets all day.
Yeah.
Red pudding, apple pie, cheesecake. That's why I work out so much. Yes. Those are my comfort foods.
You guys, she went to another level. Cheesecake.
Cheese. And let me tell you, when you said cheese and macaroni, I will eat anything. That would be my favorite food. I don't have to have the chicken. I don't have to have the turkey. Just give me my cheese and macaroni. I love cheese. And they call me a rat because I love cheese so much. I just love it. I can eat the whole pan. It's like, don't do that. Like, I'm sorry. You shouldn't have made the cheese and macaroni.
Do you have a preference on cheese?
No, I love cheese. I love Gouda cheese, yellow cheese. My favorite is pepper jack cheese. I love it.
Oh,
I can eat it in blocks and with
wow.
crackers all day. And I know it's binding food, but I love it. I can't help it.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
that's why you add some salad to it.
I try, but I'm good.
Well, it's
They
so
laugh at me
funny.
with huh?
It's so funny in France, they have all this smelly cheese, and I couldn't understand how people can love something that smells so bad. But
I
But I don't want
bet.
to know what it smells. I know when it's processed and it's finished, it's delicious.
Well, it might taste. Did you try any, Eugenia, of the cheese in France?
oh, absolutely. I mean, I hated it. I couldn't understand. I couldn't put my mind on it when they invited me to the dinner and nothing was cooked and everything smelled like it came from the trash can. And I was like, this is very eccentric, but like, what's the point? It is definitely not a comfort food. It's more like, don't smell and like swallow food, It's like,
You guys, Eugenia is traumatized by this.
oh yeah, by cheese for sure. It needs so much therapy. PTSD. But I think comfort food is such a phenomenal topic. It's just psychologically speaking. I actually grew up on food lines, right? So at some point we had only oatmeal and sugar. And I remember my comfort food at that time was like frying sugar and making lollipops out of it. And that was like amazing. I loved it. It was like amazing. And then I moved to Paris and I remember noticing one thing. You always see those very like, maybe like 80-year-old or like even 90 couples sitting at cafes with their dog, and the dog is eating too, and they're eating the sweets, and they're just enjoying that. And I thought, that's an amazing thing to share at like, at that point in life. Like, this is what makes you comfortable, is really good quality food, whatever it is. And I noticed then in pandemic, I definitely turn to comfort food. I mean, in modeling, usually you're so strict and like whatever they ask you, you really have to monitor it, unfortunately. But in pandemic, I just felt so out of control that the food was the only thing that I could kind of have control of, like, and enjoy, because there's so many negative things. And I just finally started like exploring things, and eating finally. But I mean, my comfort food, I do love pizza. I don't like sweets at all. For some reason, if I eat like a certain amount of sweets, I will pass out. And I don't know if it's like blood sugar or something, or maybe it's like a type of blood that I have. But I'm not like, I can't eat sweets, like no attraction whatsoever. But anything salty, I was like a weird child. So when like they started opening the borders and we started having food, I would wait in lines for salty cucumbers, and I could eat like jars of salty cucumbers. I don't know why, but I love it. I love salty cucumbers. I used to like hide it under my bed so my sister wouldn't eat it, like, and then it would smell a week after, and they're like, like, where's the body? And I was like, it was like, no body, but the cucumbers were somewhere under the bed. So I think it's fascinating how, as humans, and some people use it as an addiction to food, like to just comfort eat their feelings, which, I've seen with a few people as well. So I think food is fascinating. It's something that unites us, right? And brings us together, and something that can cause good and bad things.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Most definitely.
Okay, well, I think we covered our topics. Do you guys have anything else you want to talk about, like as a thing before the holidays? Obviously, we all want to promote Holly's book, and
Yes.
Congratulations.
I want to ask, what made you write it, like, and how did you come to it?
Hi, Eugenia. Sure. So I came to it because I was very fortunate. I grew up in a great mindset. I grew up with a very strong mother in a very strong home. It was not both the parents, unfortunately, did not have this mindset, but one did. And so I overcame a lot of obstacles easier than anyone around me did for some reason. And I always thought that this was very puzzling to me. And so I decided one day, hey, just write this in a book. maybe you could help somebody. So it's got stories, it's got a lot of great things in it. It's got relevant things, it's got personal stories, research, it's got a lot of facts in there, just fun things to where I walk you through how to begin, not continue, but how to begin climbing the mountain of a mindset of to success, because it's got little, it's got little to do with private jets and mansions and anything that you could accomplish with wealth and all that. All those things are nice, but that's not internal happiness, and that's not what the soul finds pleasing. So I'm saying, at the end of the day, you just want to be able to have an accomplishment with a good mindset and knowing, hey, I did this right. At the end of the day, when you go to bed and then you wake up the next day and it all starts over again, so that's exactly what it's about.
That's beautiful. What's coming up for you guys? Jeff, I know that you're working on a lot of fashion things, right? That's happening for you.
Yeah, I'm actually working on a collection. Well, I just did something in New York this weekend. It was for the Wakanda. I did a design at the AMC Theater. I just finished that. I'm trying not to do anything people are calling me for New York Fashion Week and stuff, but I'm about to go to Germany in February for a 5-city tour. So I'm preparing for that. And I'm excited, but yeah, it's a lot of work. But I'm getting connected to certain people that are really seeing my brand, and they're really helping me. That's kind of already in the scene. I'm kind of getting pulled heavy into the entertainment, and I'm getting comfortable with stuff, because if you can tell, I'm not as shy. So I see myself kind of transitioning and becoming kind of mature in how I'm supposed to move, because I've always been kind of, fearful of the cameras and stuff. But I think being on FNL and then being pulled into these different realms are actually helping me to be able to talk on camera and talk fluent without feeling uneasy or shy or pulling myself back from that. So yeah, those are the things that I'm doing now, and I'm happy. It's a good place for me. I enjoyed New York. I'm ready to move to New York. I went this weekend, and I've been to New York several times and did fashion shows, but for some reason, I didn't go with anybody this time. Normally, I always go with people, because it's easier for me to have people around me, but it was for me to go by myself in an experience where it was no distractions, and I could network with people and really enjoy people in different settings. And it was really good for me. I felt myself not leaning on people, but leaning on Jeff and communicating with people so that I can enjoy the moment. And that's what happened with me. I enjoyed the moment without being distracted. So yeah, woo, I was so happy. I was good.
Oh,
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Amazing. And how about you, Marianne?
right now we are kind of in a season of, I would call it just kind of chill, just relax. I'm focusing right now. I don't even want to leave my house overnight because of this new horse, because I'm so worried. Even though he's more in the clear, my main focus is continuing to get him healthy and just kind of enjoying the rest of the year. We probably won't go. We usually travel a lot, but unless we go maybe to the mountains, which that's as far as we might go. That's like 2.5 hours from us. Other than that, we will probably just hang out here. I'm looking forward to Thanksgiving. We're going to see my brother and his family, and I still have no idea what we're doing at Christmas. I have not planned a whole lot right now, just because of wanting to make sure that Teddy is okay. And but I'm happy.
His name is Teddy.
I named him Teddy. I named him Teddy.
My son's name is Teddy.
Is it? Oh! I named him Teddy. I thought that was the perfect name. He's like a giant teddy bear, and he just loves to be loved. He was used as like a trail horse for a bunch of men on a farm. They hunted off of him. They hunted birds or something. So I don't think he's ever had his own person. So now that he's got his own person, he seems to just light up, and I love that. So I named him Teddy, and Teddy is, he's safe and he's here, but I just like to be able to check on him. And probably through the holidays, we won't do a whole lot of traveling. We may pick up more next year, but right now I'm content. I'm content to just be home, be on the farm. There's so much to do here. There's plenty of work. So I'm happy with that.
Well, content is a beautiful word. And, as they say, like, no matter where you go, there you are. So it really
Yeah.
is like about the internal thing. And yeah, I want to add, like for me, I'm very grateful. It's been working a lot, finishing a movie, and then maybe I can go to a silent retreat because I want to write a book of poems. It's something I love poetry, so I have no clue how to write it, but maybe can channel it through somewhere. So hopefully can make that happen. I just think poetry is so beautiful and music, and I have so many musician friends who write those amazing songs. I'm like, how do they do that? So it's some kind of inspiration to, to spread the voice and share hopefully connection and kindness and learn more about this life and lessons. And it's almost end of the year, and it's very exciting. I love this time of the year. You're just gonna feel something different,
Yes.
right? People are just grateful no matter what is happening. It's just such a beautiful time to reflect back.
Yeah.
So thank you guys. I'm really excited to follow up and see, all your success with everything that you do. It's very special to co-host the show. Thank you, FNL Network, for allowing us to have this platform and this amazing talk show. Thank you to all the listeners. It's incredible to have you. Check it out and stay tuned for next week or other shows.